Imagine if happiness was not a random accident, but a skill you could master. Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect conditions to finally feel good. They think they will be happy when they get the promotion or find the right partner. But the truth is that happiness is a system you can create even in your darkest hours. It is not a feeling that comes and goes based on luck. It is a practice that you can learn and perfect starting today. Research shows that the happiest people on earth do not have perfect lives. They have simply learned how to generate joy regardless of what is happening around them. This is not about pretending everything is fine when it is not. It is about understanding the science of well-being and using tools that actually work. You are about to learn a complete system for controlling your emotional state. The difference between thriving and just surviving is not genetics or wealth. It is the knowledge of how your mind works and how to direct it toward peace. Welcome to Elite Summaries, where we break down the most powerful ideas for your growth. If you want to master your internal state and change your life, make sure to subscribe and join our community. Now, let's get back to the core of your happiness. The biggest lie we are told is that external things make us happy. This is called the hedonic treadmill. You get what you want and you feel good for a little while. Then you return to your old level of satisfaction and start looking for the next thing. This happens because your brain releases dopamine during anticipation. But dopamine is about wanting and not about lasting joy. Your brain is designed to adapt to positive experiences very quickly. What felt amazing yesterday becomes the new normal today. This helped your ancestors survive by keeping them focused on getting more resources. But in the modern world, this ancient mechanism keeps you in a cycle of constant chasing. Studies on lottery winners show they return to their original happiness levels in just a few years. Even people who face great tragedies return to their baseline faster than we expect. This proves that external factors like money or success only account for 10% of your happiness. 50% is your genetic set point, but the remaining 40% is completely within your control. This 40% is determined by your thoughts and daily habits. Most people ignore this power and focus only on changing their circumstances. They try to fix their lives instead of fixing their minds. Real happiness is not about feeling positive every single second. It is the ability to experience all emotions without being controlled by them. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of those emotions. Feelings are like temporary visitors that come and go. When you realize this, you stop trying to control every feeling and start controlling your responses. This shift creates psychological resilience. It is the ability to keep your well-being intact no matter what happens. Your brain was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. These two goals are often in conflict. Your ancient brain is always scanning for threats to keep you safe. In the past, this saved us from predators. Today, your brain treats a stressful email like a charging lion. It responds to social rejection with the same intensity as physical pain. This leaves you in a chronic state of stress even when you are safe. You can change this through emotional alchemy. This is the practice of turning negative states into positive ones. Your emotions are not facts. They are interpretations created by your thoughts. Your brain cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. This is why you feel fear during a scary movie. But you can use this to your advantage. Emotions start with a thought that triggers a chemical response in the body. This creates a loop that can spiral up or down. But you must interrupt this process to take control. Imagine you are stuck in traffic and running late. Your automatic thought might be that this is a disaster. This thought releases stress hormones and makes you feel anxious. But you could choose a different thought. You could tell yourself that the traffic is out of your control and use the time to listen to something inspiring. The situation is the same, but your internal experience changes completely. This is emotional alchemy in action. With practice, you can rewire your brain to default to positive interpretations. Every emotion has a purpose. Anger tells you that your boundaries have been violated. Fear signals that you are doing something important. Sadness is how your brain processes loss. Instead of fighting these feelings, use them as information. Emotions are like weather patterns that peak and then subside if you do not feed them with negative thoughts. You can engineer your happiness like an architect builds a house. The foundation is your daily structure. Your emotional state is the result of what you focus on and what you consume. Your morning routine is the most powerful part of this structure. Most people start their day by checking their phones and letting the world hijack their minds. The happiest people protect the first hour of their day. They use this time to prime their brains for focus and joy. This can be as simple as 5 minutes of gratitude. Gratitude is a neurological intervention. It changes the structure of your brain. It increases dopamine and serotonin levels. It strengthens the parts of the brain responsible for emotional regulation. But you must do it correctly. Do not just list things half-heartedly. You must get specific and really feel the appreciation. Instead of saying you are grateful for your health, be grateful for how your body felt during a walk. Real gratitude is finding value even in difficult moments. It is not about pretending problems do not exist. It is about seeing the growth and the lessons inside the struggle. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, your brain shifts from scarcity to abundance. This changes your energy and your opportunities. Your inner dialogue is the most powerful force in your life. The average person has thousands of thoughts every day. Most of these are negative and repetitive. These thoughts drive your emotions and your results. To change your life, you must change the way you talk to yourself. Remember that the voice in your head is not you. You are the one listening to the voice. This realization gives you mental freedom. You can choose which thoughts to believe and which to ignore. Start by noticing your thoughts without judging them. This is called metacognition. Ask yourself if your negative thoughts are actually true. Most of the time, they are just subjective judgments. You can choose to let them go. Use affirmations that feel authentic to you. Instead of saying you are wealthy when you are not, say you are learning to manage your money better. This directs your brain toward what you want to create. You can also reframe hard situations as opportunities to grow stronger. Human beings are social creatures. The quality of your relationships is the strongest predictor of your happiness. But many people approach relationships by trying to get something from others. They try to control people and expect them to provide happiness. This creates conflict and disappointment. The secret to relationship happiness is giving rather than getting. It starts with self-love. If you do not love yourself, you will always seek validation from others. This leads to people-pleasing or being too demanding. When you treat yourself with kindness, you bring a full cup to every connection. You are no longer desperate for attention. Use radical acceptance with others. Stop trying to change people to fit your standards. Accept them as they are and set healthy boundaries. This frees up your energy to focus on your own growth. Practice empathy by listening to understand instead of just waiting to talk. When people feel seen and heard, they trust you more. Boundaries are also essential. They are not walls to keep people out. They are guidelines for how you want to be treated. Setting boundaries prevents resentment and builds mutual respect. Your body and mind are one integrated system. Your physical state has a direct influence on how you feel. Exercise is as effective as medication for many people. It releases endorphins and reduces stress hormones. But you can also change your mood instantly through posture. Standing tall with your shoulders back can increase your confidence chemicals in minutes. Your brain interprets your physical signals to decide how you should feel. If you slouch, you will feel more insecure. Your breathing is also a tool for regulation. Slow, deep breaths activate the part of your nervous system that promotes calm. Coherent breathing involves a steady rhythm of 4 counts in and 4 counts out. This synchronizes your heart and mind. Movement is medicine for the brain. Even short bursts of activity can shift a negative mood. Your facial expressions matter too. Smiling sends signals to your brain that you are happy, which triggers a mood boost. Sleep is perhaps the most important biological factor for joy. Lack of sleep makes your emotional brain hyperactive and your rational brain weak. Everything feels harder when you are tired. Quality sleep is a necessity for emotional stability. You should also pay attention to your nutrition. Your brain needs specific nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids to function well. Your gut health is also linked to your mental health. Most of your serotonin is produced in your gut. Eating whole foods and avoiding sugar helps maintain a stable mood. Sunlight exposure is another key. It helps regulate your internal clock and improves your energy. Life will always bring challenges. Resilience is the skill of bouncing back stronger. It is not about being unaffected by pain. It is about feeling the difficulty and maintaining your optimism. This requires cognitive flexibility. You must be able to adapt your thinking when things change. Ask yourself, what else a bad situation could mean? Look for the opportunities hidden inside the obstacles. Develop an internal locus of control. Focus on what you can influence rather than what you cannot. This keeps you in a state of action instead of helplessness. Distress tolerance is the ability to sit with hard emotions without reacting impulsively. This confidence allows you to take more risks and live more authentically. Your life is the sum of your habits. Consciously design habits that make happiness automatic. Habits run on autopilot and do not require willpower. Use the habit loop of cue, routine, and reward. Make the rewards of your good habits immediate. If a habit feels good in the moment, it will stick. Use habit stacking by attaching a new behavior to an old one. For example, practice gratitude right after you pour your morning coffee. Start small with the 2-minute rule. Do not try to do too much at once. If you want to exercise, start with just 2 minutes. Consistency is more important than intensity. Protect your energy from people who drain you. Energy vampires are people who consistently undermine your mood. They may be complainers, drama creators, or narcissists. You cannot save people from themselves. Trying to do so only sacrifices your own well-being. Recognize how people make you feel. If you feel depleted after seeing someone, set a boundary. Limit the time you spend with them or avoid certain topics. You have the right to protect your peace. Surround yourself with people who inspire and support you. This creates a positive social environment that sustains your joy. The present moment is the only place where happiness exists. Most people spend their time thinking about the past or the future. This mind wandering leads to lower levels of happiness. Mindfulness is about being aware of what is happening right now without judgment. It is the difference between experiencing life and thinking about life. Most suffering comes from resisting reality. Acceptance does not mean you like everything. It means you stop wasting energy fighting what has already happened. Use your breath as an anchor to stay in the now. Pay attention to your senses. Notice the colors, sounds, and textures around you. When you are fully present, you realize that most of your problems exist only in your thoughts. Finally, realize that happiness is your natural state. Deep within you is an unshakable core of peace. Most people try to find happiness outside themselves, but it is already there, covered by layers of noise and fear. You are the pure awareness that observes everything else. This awareness is never damaged by your circumstances. It is like the sky that remains the same, even when it is stormy. When you identify with this core, you find a stability that nothing can touch. You stop waiting for life to be perfect to be happy. You realize that you are already whole and complete. All the practices of gratitude, movement, and mindfulness are just ways to remove the blocks to your natural joy. You do not need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you truly are. Live from this truth and let it guide every choice you make. Your journey to happiness is not about a destination. It is about coming home to the peace that has always been inside you.